Before I attended a code school, I was working for a local bank in the area in customer service.
I graduated from UNC with a bachelor's degree in psychology, but didn't really want to continue on that path.
I was working in the criminal justice field as a probation officer. I have been doing that for about 6 or 7 years here in North Carolina.
I had a friend who was kind of getting into coding. He was taking classes at a community college in the town that he was in, and so I sort of took that idea from him and I started taking some classes online locally. I still just didn't feel like I was learning enough information to actually be able to translate into an actual job that I'd be able to get in the real world, and so that's when I heard about a coding boot camp that was local to the area.
I was always infatuated with computers and games and software that made simple tasks trivial and complex tasks possible. I wanted to problem solve for a career and saw a code school in the area and went for it.
It was getting ready to become a new year, and I kind of lost I guess I could say my job lost its spark. Tech and the coding industry was kind of new to me, and I kind of knew that it was going to be the thing to do or the place to be.
I don't know how to sugarcoat it. Like, it just is really expensive, and it's a really big commitment to decide to quit your job, to know you're going to be out of work for at least 3 months, spend a lot of money to go through a coding boot camp, and then the goal is to find a job on the other end of it.
I have had the luxury of working with some really great people in a lot of different environments before entering the dev world, and even with that luxury, I didn't always love what I was working on. I had to take a deep look inward to make sure I wanted to pursue this, and when I was sure, I was able to give the jump my full commitment.
Just making sure that my finances were in order, because I knew it was going to be an intense 12 weeks.
It was a very intense environment. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. You're spending probably 60 to 80 hour weeks just working through problems, trying to figure things out, trying to solve things daily. I felt like my mind was really pushed to the limit.
My coding school experience was amazing. I had great teachers who spent their entire lives doing the thing that I wanted to do, and they wanted to help me follow in their footsteps and dodge their mistakes. They responded to my eagerness to learn with an eagerness to teach, and we used that energy to soak in as much knowledge as I possibly could. The support staff helped me keep my focus and learn the non-technical side of the technical world, which is just as daunting.
Honestly, besides childbirth, one of the hardest things that I've ever experienced. If you had told me on day one that I would make it through to the end of the 12th week, I would have said, no, you're crazy, no, I'm not, I'm never going to make it through. It was just that hard. Do not give up, and don't feel like you're dumb or you just don't get it. Just keep going.
You had left some form of comfort to attend a coding boot camp and to kind of spend this time trying to learn something, and so there was definitely a sense of camaraderie there that I really loved. My teachers, I could tell, really cared about me and wanted me to be successful. I loved getting to know my classmates, working through homework assignments together, trying to learn the material. There was just this sense of, we're in this together, let's figure this out, and I really loved that.
The relationships that I made with my classmates, my teachers, the staff, as friends still, and we help lift each other up, doing code stuff or not code stuff still today.
Those relationships that were formed when we were in the fire are irreplaceable. At the end, the graduation, just to be able to say I did it, that was rewarding.
My wife had a baby while I was still in the code school. Towards the end, so week 11, we're working on final projects. My wife has our first child. So it was crazy. I would say my situation was a bit unique. Not everyone is going to have the same kind of thing, because when code school ended and I started the job hunt, my transition also included a transition of having a kid to take care of and to try and figure out all of that stuff. So I didn't have any downtime. I couldn't have any downtime with having a new baby, and so it's really just putting your head down and powering through it. Like, the reason anyone goes through something like this is because they want to switch careers and they want to find a new job. And if that's what's really important to you and is really your motivating factor, then it's just kind of one of those things where you just have to put your head down and power through it. You just have to figure out how to muster up the energy to just keep going.
I was applying to jobs as a software developer for the first time, and that felt great, but I was still pretty nervous. I had my first technical interviews, which were new to me, with a few different companies, and about a week after graduation was given an offer for a contract to hire position doing what I spent the last 12 weeks learning.
It made me work harder to prove to myself and to other people that I can do this. I'm a programmer. So we started our own business, and now we just make websites on the side.
Try to code something, do an online tutorial, maybe do something in person, or just make your own thing. I mean, you can maybe do a tutorial, and then if you have an idea for something, just try and make it and see how far you can get.
I think the best advice I can give someone thinking about attending a code school would be to have that inner monologue about what your goals are and if you want to solve problems with programming. I think it's totally fair if that's not what you want to do. There are other paths. But if you want to write code, there's a dedicated community of people that are more than happy to help you get there.
Have you gotten to the point where you've done research and code school was in your search? It could be, it really could be for you. You're coding to change the world or to change lives. So it's always worth it.
All right, that's it. I'm done. Cut.